Hey guys, we have a weekend of some building intensity. It's pretty much all eyes on Uranus, North Node, and Mars right now coming together in the sign of Taurus. This conjunction is going to be building throughout the next few days as we head towards the 31st into August 1st, when this very rare, unique, and powerful conjunction will be coming exact. But this weekend, energy is activating very much so this dynamic of planets we have setting up in the sky. On Friday, we're going to have the moon in Taurus that is coming into a conjunction with Uranus in the North Node, forming an opposition to the South Node, squaring Saturn, trining Pluto. Expect the unexpected, perhaps some very dynamic and out of the blue, sudden, radical changes and shifts and things that are hitting us on Friday. On Saturday, we have the sun moving into the sign of Leo, leaving Cancer. This is actually taking us out of the black moon emphasis of energy that we've had going on for the past couple months, actually, which could be doing some good things for us, but is also sort of adding to the intensity that is building in terms of this conjunction that we are heading towards Uranus, North Node, and Mars in the sign of Taurus. On Sunday, we have the nodes transitioning, changing degrees, 1 degree closer to Uranus. So now there's only a 1 degree orb separation by the time we get to Sunday from Uranus to the North Node. You guys, this is destiny activated, some divine realignments taking place, and perhaps just some really uncomfortable stuff going on, but we are heading in a direction that is ultimately going to be positive. This is a weekend of blessings in disguise, and we are not seeing the outcome of the things that are beginning to transpire right now. So we are not getting emotionally attached to the current state of things, and we are keeping our mental emphasis on the bigger picture and an open mind about whatever may be occurring at this point in time. So that being said, you guys, let's get into the chart, see how this is playing out for us today and tomorrow and Sunday, and generally what we might be able to anticipate on the ground in this great time of expect the unexpected. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Friday, July 22nd, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the weekend. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the energy for today, Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday as well, just so that we can get a nice, well-rounded overview of what our weekend might be looking like from an energetic level and perspective. We are in the times of the ages, you guys. Like, we have some very big energy, some very big astrology that is playing out this weekend, starting on Friday, carrying us through. We are in a shift of vibes going on this weekend as well. Like I said, the sun is leaving Cancer. Actually, on Friday, later on the day on Friday, the sun will leave Cancer and will move into the sign of Leo. Saturday will be our first full day of sun and Leo energy. So we have that happening this weekend as well. And then, like I said, on Sunday, we have the nodes changing degrees, moving 1 degree closer to Uranus as Mars is moving another degree closer on the other side of Uranus. See, we have Uranus is sort of in the middle of the North Node and Mars right now in the sky, and the North Node is inching backwards and Mars is moving inching forwards, and they're both moving this weekend. Mars will be within a 5 degree orb, like I said, on Sunday when the North Node moves to the 1 degree orb separation. So this is definitely heating up. This is definitely being activated. And Friday actually may be the bigger day of the weekend in terms of this energy sort of showing its face and saying hello to us because of the moon coming into the conjunction with the North Node and with Uranus, and the moon is like a trigger planet. So very intense weekend, energy, intensity building towards this climax that we have coming up. You may have already started to experience some sort of shakes in the foundation of things going on. Very activated all weekend long. And we start the weekend again, you guys, in some sequences of twos. It's July 22nd. 72222, and if you guys have been following my work, you know that we've been kind of noticing that when we have sequences of twos playing out in the numerology on any given day, a lot of times that correlates to more significant aspects that are also playing a role in this energetic shift that we have going on right now into the age of Aquarius, which ultimately is trying to align us with the themes represented numerologically through sequences of twos, the 222 angel number, numerology along those lines, which is, divine fulfillment, like divine couplings, like what brings your heart and soul its truest version of fulfillment. Like that is the type of energy that is represented through the 222 numerology. And we are in a 222 year this year, as we're also bridging and transitioning ages into the age of Aquarius. And so there's a lot that is working right now to try to help us get back into authentic alignment with what can truly bring us our heart and our souls, like true form of fulfillment and true desires, and like the divine connections and relationship dynamics, like soulmates and energy and stuff like that can really fulfill us, right? But there's a necessary shift that needs to occur in order so that we can align with and begin to magnetize and attract these type of relationships, circumstances, situations, and events that is correlating, like I said, with our transition into the age of Aquarius and also this 222 year. And so today is yet another one of those days. And Friday is a big day because we do have the moon in the sign of Taurus that is going to be activating both Uranus and the North Node. The moon is a trigger planet for activating transits. The moon rules our feelings and what's going on inside of us, like our internal environment. And because of that, a lot of times, depending on what the moon is doing in the context of the other planetary configurations and the transits that are in play, it can activate the other transits that are going on in the cosmos. And so, like on a frequency and vibrational level, as within, so without, that type of thing. So when we're dealing with the moon coming into the conjunction with the North Node and Uranus this weekend, this is definitely activating this building conjunction. And this is like hold on to your hat, hold on to your sunglasses. Like this conjunction ultimately is all about divine realignments and things, like things sort of being thrown up in the air, shooken up in a way that puts them back in the proper order that is necessary actually for more organic growth in alignment with authentic potential at this point in time. We're talking about the North Node in the sign of Taurus. This is sort of like the hand of God, like fate, destiny, the next phase of growth, our lesson plan, what we're sort of being like pulled towards, because that is what we need to learn, what we need to experience, what we need to grow into in this lifetime. And Uranus, this is the great rectifier, this is the galactic fixer, this is blessings in disguise, this is the great awakener as well. This is also like a divinely aligned great awakening, conscious awakening that is going on right now, of course, in the context of our transition into the age of Aquarius, Uranus also being the ruling planet of the sign of Aquarius. So it is like this transit that we have going on is really, Mars rules our energy and our action, as well. And it's like, this is a very active, energetic, conscious awakening that is underway right now that is helping to bridge us into this new paradigm that is incoming right now, this age of Aquarius. But, in order to do that, a lot needs to come down. It's like the Tower card in tarot is really how I'm seeing kind of where we're at right now and what this transit could potentially represent to us. Now, aside from the moon making the conjunction to Uranus and the North Node in Taurus today, which could, and we're talking about the sign of Taurus, so this has a lot to do with like our values, our resources, finances, money, like projects that we're working on or involved in, partnerships that we have with people, like financial arrangements and agreements and stuff like that. Also supply chains, resources, food. And just like things coming from the earth and things that we like create and produce in order to give ourselves a sense of material comfort and stability. These type of things are likely to be feeling pretty shaky and pretty uncertain at this point in time. And these are the themes where we are more likely to sort of be experiencing these like sudden upsets to like our status quo or to our comfort or to our stability in one way or another. But it's for the purpose, you guys, of shaking things up in some type of a way that actually helps us to come back into a greater understanding of our own potential, of our own resources, of our own like internalized sense of personal power, and how we can tap and utilize that to actually create a greater sense of stability in times of uncertainty based on our own capacity to produce and create essentially in this energy as we are moving through this time where the paradigm of the past matrices of power and control and authority and the power and control dynamics and structures that have carried us through very long ways are sort of breaking down right now. because that's not the way. That is not the Aquarian way. We are coming out of the age of Pisces, which was much more about hierarchies and following the leader and sort of schooling together. And we are entering the age of Aquarius, which is an age of self-knowledge, self-empowerment, self-mastery, and co-creation with God and universe. It's each individual tapping their potential, activating their destiny, lighting their light, and like one by one, that illuminates the overall whole. And it's about learning to co-create with God and universe, and therefore learning to create our own experience, our own personal golden age, our own heaven on earth as we go through this period of time over this next 2,000 years. That is the name of the game. That's what we are moving into. And as a result of that, we are breaking karmic cycles right now. We are being released from a lot of long-standing toxic attachments and subconscious mindsets and generational karma and generational trauma. And all that type of stuff is really crumbling and falling away right now. And as a result of that, we may be facing some very uncomfortable endings or just unexpected shifts. And we have to keep the faith that we are moving in the right direction. And it's not all like upheaval this weekend, you guys. We actually do have a very positive Mercury-Jupiter aspect that is coming through as well. And we should be getting actually some really good news this weekend, or we should be having a very positive or open mind about the changes that are underway. But, there's just a lot happening right now. So that all is going on. But anyways, aside from the moon conjuncting the North Node and Uranus today in the sign of Taurus, because of other planets in fixed signs and earth signs, Saturn in Aquarius, another fixed sign, Pluto in the end of Capricorn, another earth sign, we're also dealing with the moon making both a square to Saturn today and a trine to Pluto. And because of these aspects in alignment with the conjunction between the North Node and Uranus, this could definitely be bringing about some more like negative thinking. And we're going to really want to be careful on Friday not to fall into like obsessive or compulsive like loops or patterns of negative thinking. And we are probably we need to realize that we may not be feeling super good about what appears to be happening on Friday, but this is blessing in disguise energy. We are not seeing the full outcome of how things are playing out, what the plan is, like the overall scenario. We are only sort of seeing the initial shakeup, like the initial upheaval. And so we really need to try our best not to get caught in like woe is me energy, or just like some very strong, intense, negative emotions that are really like dragging us down on Friday. Because with the moon forming the square to Saturn, this can just generally create some more depressed, isolated, or like cast out feelings. We may be feeling, just more pessimistic and a little bit more gloomy about things, like not being able to see our way out of something. And with the trine to Pluto going on simultaneously, this can create almost like a compulsive or obsessive like feelings that are sort of like coming as a result, or like driving this. Like Pluto in a trine with the moon, this is some very, very, very intense and powerful emotions. It can also be representing some type of very like profound emotional transformation that is going on as well. But we are generally, with the moon and square to Saturn, the moon and trine to Pluto, like taking things pretty seriously. Saturn also rules structures and foundations. The moon and square, this is also representing perhaps some conflict or some tension or some type of like building pressure in regards to our sense of stability and the foundations of things in one way or another. But ultimately, Pluto in a trine to the moon, this is also releasing what we can no longer handle about things. Like it's a purging energy as well. So we may feel a little bit on Friday like we just are sort of like at a breaking point, and we've sort of like it's sort of like all we can take at this point in time. But we don't want to get caught in that. Like we really don't want to let that take us down, because actually, you guys, like I said, on Saturday we have some good news that might be coming, and we have an aspect that is coming exact that really might do a lot to expand our mind, expand our thinking, show us more of the positive side of things, like have us looking at the glass a bit more half full. And so this energy is going to shift. We are going to get through whatever's happening on Friday, and by Saturday, we might be looking at it a little bit differently from just a broader perspective, or in the context of some more like positive news or information that we are learning in one way or another. Now, it's interesting as well because the Sabian symbols that are present on Friday for this conjunction of the moon and Uranus, North Node, squaring Saturn, trining Pluto. The sun, like I said, is going to be leaving Cancer and moving into Leo later in the day. So the sun will be moving from 30 degrees of Cancer to 1 degree of Leo. And that progression of Sabian symbols goes like this. 30 degrees of Cancer is a daughter of the American Revolution. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I've been talking about us being really in some revolutionary times right now because Pluto, who is being activated by the moon today, happens to be at the degree that it was at for the formation of the United States. We are having a Pluto return, a natal Pluto return for the United States chart, which is representing this like revolutionary energy, which is also represented by Uranus and which is also represented by Pluto simply in the sign of Capricorn, talking about breaking down power and control dynamics and established ways of structuring hierarchies and stuff of the past. But anyways, the sun is discharging that degree today, a daughter of the American Revolution, and I feel like that is again indicating these revolutionary times that we are in and these dramatic shifts and changes that are taking place right now. And then the sun will move to 1 degree of Leo. That Sabian symbol is under emotional stress, blood rushes to a man's head, which is also a very like Uranus, Mars type of like symbolic reference. And so whatever's happening, whatever's going on, whatever revolution is in the air or going on in our personal lives or, you know, on the greater world stage or whatnot, it could be really provoking some very intense emotions that are sort of coloring our judgment of things today or like getting to our head in one way or another on the outskirts of the transits themselves that are taking place, which are very much sort of indicating the same thing. We also have the Earth at 30 degrees of Capricorn. To start the day, that Sabian symbol is a secret meeting of men responsible for world affairs, which I feel like, again, is referencing these long-standing orders of power and control dynamics, things that have been going on behind the scenes, sort of like the puppet masters, like things that have been pulling the strings. And with the sun at the American Revolution degree and Uranus and the North Node coming together, like this is the type of energy that is up for some type of rectification or general like galactic fixing at this point in time. And then the sun will, or the earth will move to 1 degree of Aquarius. And that Sabian symbol is an old Adobe mission. And this symbol always sort of reminds me of like something that can like stand the test of time, or like through our faith, we endure. So I feel like in the context of the aspects that are playing out today, we're talking about some type of big, huge revolutionary changes that are sort of on the brink of things, but that are also not comfortable, could be really causing some stress that is really getting to our head in some type of a way, really sort of maybe like just stressing us out or messing with us in one capacity or another. And it may be as a result of, you know, the secret meeting of men responsible for world affairs, like things that are sort of playing out in the background, or power structures and dynamics that we are sort of being released or breaking away from in the pursuit of actually that which truly stands the test of time, or a need to sort of fall back onto our faith in this energy and just realize that like that is what is going to help us endure at this point in time. Like through our faith, we are enduring, and we will still remain after the towers crumble as long as we are standing like in our faith. At the end of the day, with this Uranus energy playing out, like that really is what we have. We can't anticipate, you know, necessarily what's gonna be changing. We can't control anything really. We can't we just have to surrender to the changes that are happening and have faith that ultimately this is all working in our best interest, and try our best to stay out of fear in regards to anything that is going on right now. We also have Uranus 19 Taurus. This is the degree where this activation will happen. A new continent is rising out of the ocean. The new paradigm is rising out of the ashes of the old that is crumbling around us right now. So we are, you know, going to be building afresh, going to be building anew. Like this realignment that is happening is actually creating a new life and a new reality and a new world and a new identity for us that is much more in alignment with our authentic truth, what can really truly give us a sense of purpose and also fulfillment in our lives going forward. And so, you know, we have to, again, rest assured on that things are happening for us and not against us, despite how crazy it might be right now. And like I said, you know, we do have Mercury building into this trine with Jupiter. We also this weekend have Venus building into a square with Jupiter. We have Jupiter being aspected by both Mercury and Venus. And I will talk more about this as I get into the energy for Saturday and Sunday, because that is when these specific aspects are going to be coming exact. But generally, like I said, there should be some good news that is coming in on Saturday. In one way or another, we should be seeing things through a bit of a brighter light on Saturday. And generally, you know, Saturn or Venus in the square to Jupiter, this is also generally bringing some more positive vibes in terms of relationships, finances, and more of a sense of like inner peace and stuff like that. So we do have that to look forward to, although self-discipline is also going to be sort of a major component that maybe we want to put into practice this weekend a little bit to sort of help us on our way. Now let's talk about Saturday for a minute. We are talking about Saturday, July 23rd. This, like I said, number one, will be our first day this year with the sun fully in the sign of Leo. So we are fully in Leo energy today. Very fiery day, very fiery energy. And like I said, number two, on Saturday, we also have Mercury in Leo also coming into the exact trine with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. This is a lot of fire energy, very expanded mental fire energy, mind on fire on Saturday. And it's also interesting because we have the moon in Gemini on Saturday. It's actually going to be forming an exact midpoint between Mercury and Jupiter in their trine and fire signs. And Gemini, moon in Gemini, of course, is ruled by Mercury. And so there is some type of emotional alignment, mind, emotions on the same page in terms of whatever is going on with this Jupiter Mercury energy that we have playing out on Saturday. And so let's talk about Jupiter and Mercury together. First of all, Jupiter is the planet of expansion, the planet of hope, faith, optimism, trust, wisdom, like seeing the bigger perspective on things, also like luck and success and blessings and stuff like that. Mercury is the messenger planet, ruling thoughts, ideas, information, communication, and news and messages coming in generally. Also transactions, things going back and forth. But with Jupiter and Mercury in the trine together in fire signs, this is definitely probably a big news day. Could represent some big ideas or us generally having a bit of a big mouth. Very supportive of positive thinking, expansive thinking, expanding our viewpoints, opening our mind, positive interactions, transactions, conversations generally going on Saturday. This is great energy for any type of business deals that are going on, business or commercial activity sort of any kind. People open and fair-minded. This is very good for any type of like litigation or court stuff going on like that as well. You're likely to probably get more of a positive outcome of that type of stuff in this energy. Getting generally just like a good word or some good news about something, though, is something that we may expect on Saturday. Legal matters, like I said, and just generally like enlarging the mental scope of things. Seeing the glass half full and ready to take some action, very inspired and fired up perhaps with this happening in fire signs, in the signs of Leo and Aries. This also, I feel like our passion sort of taking the forefront and what brings us joy and what brings us fun and what brings us enjoyment. There may be sort of an emphasis on performances as well, or shows or entertainment like games, sports, stuff like that. Romance as well. Taking action or moving forward towards what brings us joy, love, romance, passion. Mercury in the sign of Leo. This is very much like energy, mental energy geared around like wanting to have a good time. It's also very loyal, very brave, like, you know, courageous, stubborn though, very stubborn as well. People may be very sort of like fixed in whatever their perception of things is, but it's likely to be on the more positive end of things in terms of how this energy is playing out. We do, though, with Jupiter, with any Jupiter aspect that we have going on, because Jupiter supersizes things and it expands everything, it can take things over the top. Practicing some self-discipline is always very good advice when we have Jupiter aspects present. You know, like maybe don't say every single thing that you're thinking in this energy, or, you know, like maybe just like be a little bit more restrained in various aspects of however this may be playing out. We just don't want to go overboard, and especially with Venus in the square to Jupiter as well, we want to be careful with like spending money or overindulging in like food and drink or luxury or pleasure and stuff like that generally, because that can also come up when we have Venus in a square to Jupiter and also Mercury forming the trine as well. Now we have some Sabian symbols. Let's talk about the Sabian symbols where this specific trine is being activated. 9 degrees, you guys, 9 degrees of Aries, 9 degrees of Leo, Jupiter at 9 degrees of Aries. That Sabian symbol is a seer gazes intently into a crystal ball in front of them. And 9 degrees of Leo, where Mercury is, that Sabian symbol is glass blowers shape beautiful forms with their controlled breathing. And when we put these two Sabians together, I feel like this is saying that like things are taking form sort of like before our very eyes. Like this may be a day where like our future is sort of like manifesting before our eyes, like in front of our face type of thing, with the way that this configuration of planets is playing out in the midst also of this very active Uranus energy that is also on the table this weekend for sure. But the glass blowers shaping beautiful forms with their controlled breathing, like things are coming into form, like things are like the vision is coming into reality, and then the seer gazing intently into the crystal ball, it's like the future that we've envisioned or the future that we've seen or imagined like taking form before our very eyes. And again, like with the moon as the midpoint between these two planets in the sign of Gemini that is ruled by Mercury, very, very busy day. First of all, strong Mercury Gemini influence that we have going on Saturday. Lots going on, but there is this mental, emotional alignment that is very supportive of whatever this expanded viewpoint or perspective or optimism or hope or faith or trust or, you know, just success or positive like news or transactions or deals or like whatever is playing out right now. It's like there's not an internal conflict about it. Like we are, our mind and our feelings and our thoughts are sort of on the same page with the moon in Gemini as a midpoint in between these two planets. Like we are in emotional alignment with whatever is coming through in this energy. And again, that is also supportive of this just generally like feeling more positive about things in the energy on Saturday. But then you guys, we have some more shifts coming in as we move into the energy of Sunday. Sunday, the nodes of the moon, this is again really going to be activating Uranus. The nodes of the moon are moving back. The nodes of the moon always move backwards. And so they are going to be moving from 21 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio to 20 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. The planet Uranus is at 19 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio right now. This is the degree where this conjunction is going to be taking place, the 31st. And also Mars is moving to 14 degrees of Taurus, you know, narrowing the gap on the other side as well. So the nodes moving, this is definitely activating this divine realignment energy, divine awakening energy that is so present right now that it is shifting the foundation of things and helping us to really start moving in a new direction that is ultimately trying to bring us into alignment with experiences or situations that are awakening us to the truth of our own power, our own potential, and helping us to come back into alignment with our own authentic truth in one way or another. So we have that going on. We have the nodes moving, like I said, from 21 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio to 20 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. Those Sabian symbols are 20 degrees of Taurus, where the North Node is, wisps of wing-like clouds streaming across the sky. This to me is talking about like streams of consciousness in one way or another. We're talking about the air element, we're talking about the sky, and we're talking about streams of clouds. I feel like this is symbolizing like streams of consciousness that are the emphasis right now up for realignment with Uranus in such close proximity. And then the South Node, 20 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is a woman drawing aside two dark curtains that closed the entrance to a sacred pathway. So streams of consciousness, gaining clarity about something, awakening to something, seeing something from a higher level or a higher perspective that is like opening our eyes to something, that is lifting the curtain, that is lifting the veil, that is showing us what's been going on behind the curtain or under the surface, that is exposing something to us, that is illuminating us to something, you know, very powerful that may have been hidden from us or that we may have been in the dark about for a long period of time. So this axis where the North and the South Node are moving to now, right before they prepare to move into exact conjunction with Uranus, I feel like are talking about gaining some type of conscious awareness into something that has been hidden or shrouded from us, which is sort of the theme that has been playing out. I mean, this full moon cycle that we are in right now, and throughout this whole month that is this whole new moon that was very characteristic of the black moon, trying to bring some awareness to our shadow side issues as well. And all of this Uranus activity that is working to awaken us to whatever it is that we need to awaken to in order to radically shift ourselves in a way that brings us back in alignment with that authentic truth and helps us tap that potential and activate destiny and move along a trajectory that is bringing us that sense of purpose and true fulfillment in the context of this 222 year as we're moving forward towards the age of Aquarius. So interesting symbolism where the nodes of the moon move on Sunday to set us up 1 degree closer to Uranus in the conjunction. Like I said, Mars is also going to be moving a degree closer on the other side of Uranus, now within a 5-degree orb. This is also intensifying things, you know, over this next week. This is just going to build and build and build. And Mars is action. Mars is things happening. Now, granted, in the sign of Taurus, Mars is generally more slow action or has more difficulty acting or making things happen. So this may not be happening like, extremely quickly, like whatever spontaneous or unexpected changes are happening right now, it may be, like I said, like shaking the foundation of things. However, it may take a little while for them to actually like really follow through with Mars on the sign of Taurus. But yeah, action is all geared now towards these divine realignments and this profound awakening, conscious awakening, and these shifts and changes that are happening as, you know, we shift paradigms, and that's very activated in the energy right now. So people may also, you know, with this Mars representing action, we may see people now start to really take some impulsive, spontaneous, and unexpected actions in one way or another. Again, we're talking about the sign of Taurus, you guys. This is food, resources, supply chains, finances, like financial markets, money, possessions, material, like goods, luxury, comfort, what makes us feel comfortable, what makes us feel secure, the projects that we're working on, partnership dynamics, financial agreements and arrangements, like this type of stuff. People are likely to be taking some very impulsive, spontaneous, unexpected actions that may be really shaking things up for us across the board in one way or another. Now, another aspect that we have playing out on Sunday, aside from, you know, this increased intensity along the lines of this big conjunction that is building, is the square that we have playing out currently between Venus in Cancer and Jupiter in Aries. And again, this Venus and Jupiter, even though it's a square aspect, this generally has a tendency to be more of a positive aspect, more of a positive energy, especially in terms of relationships and finances and stuff. But what we really need to be careful of when Venus is in the square to Saturn is sort of like overdoing it across any like lines or avenues of pleasure, especially when it comes to like overindulging in food or drinks or spending, like that type of stuff. We're really gonna try to keep a hold on today, because today just may be an energy where we are feeling like, you know, screw it, I'm going to eat the whole cake because I just need to do that right now to try to make myself feel better about something. Or just generally, we may just be getting a little bit carried away in terms of extravagance, or like I said, luxury or beauty or pleasure, or just anything that we may have a tendency to overindulge in when Venus is in square to Jupiter. We sort of need to definitely practice some self-discipline. Again, it comes back to self-discipline when we're dealing with Jupiter. Now, another aspect of this energy, Venus actually at 9 degrees of Cancer. That is where this square is happening. 9 degrees of Cancer. Jupiter is at 9 degrees of Aries. She's within a 2-degree orb conjunction to the black moon. This is both sides of the feminine sort of coming together, and this can create a very seductive energy, like the art of seduction. Like seduction, very, very strong, prominent energy in the field right now. And with this square to Jupiter, like, there may be sort of a tendency to also like indulge the dark side a little bit, or sort of like use this seductive energy like to like our benefit in one way or another, or to, you know, sort of gratify ourselves or obtain something, or, you know, things along those lines. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. You know, maybe something to be just a little bit wary of, like people may be operating from that octave, and we just sort of want to be sure that we are not like, you know, distorting our energy in any type of a way to achieve an outcome or to get what we want. So, or we are not allowing ourselves to be sort of manipulated through some type of seduction or something like that. So another thing I wanted to say in the context of this Venus square Jupiter energy that we have coming out, because Venus is also in the conjunction with the black moon. We also have the moon transiting Gemini still on Sunday, although the moon will be transiting through the later degrees of Gemini, forming a trine to Saturn in Aquarius, forming a square to Neptune in Pisces. Again, Sunday, there's probably a greater emphasis on like interacting, communicating, news, messaging, information that is coming through. Also though, breaking through illusions, understanding the reality of things, and we may again be a little bit back in a bit of disappointment or disillusionment with what we're learning about things. Remember also the axis that the nodes are moving to, the streams of wing-like clouds streaming across the sky, and the woman drawing aside 2 dark curtains to close the entrance to a sacred pathway. Like we may be gaining some understanding into something that has been a bit like shrouded or hidden from us in some type of way, and it may be bringing up some type of discouragement or disillusionment or disappointment about something. But you guys, again, like we need not lose hope. We need not lose faith. We need to do our best, honestly, to sort of like laugh in the face of the challenges that may be being presented to us now, with the understanding that we are going to endure, just like that symbol that the sun moved, or that the earth moved to an old Adobe mission. Like we are going to endure, we are going to be able to keep going, and our faith is going to carry us through the tests of time. We are going to get through this, and everything is going to be fine. We do on Sunday have the sun at 2 degrees of Leo. That Sabian symbol is an epidemic of mumps, and the earth at 2 degrees of Aquarius, an unexpected thunderstorm. So again, like there may be a bit of like spreading irritation or just some heated energy on Sunday, and an unexpected thunderstorm. Things again, maybe like with the North Node activating Uranus, maybe things like hitting us out of the blue, maybe whatever we are learning sort of being a bit like a thunderstorm. But you know, after the thunderstorm, after the rain comes the sunshine, and that is ultimately where we are headed. This is a weekend of blessings in disguise, you guys, and because it's Uranus, and because, you know, it's happening in the sign of Taurus, this is fixed energy in a slow moving sign. It's probably gonna take a little while before we start understanding like where this is going, like where this is heading, or how this could possibly be something that is actually going to have a positive outcome. But we can't lose faith, we can't lose hope, and we just need to remember, you guys, like we are living through incredible times right now. Like we need to try to use the Mercury Jupiter trine, like expand our viewpoint, expand our perspective, look at things from a higher level in terms of like, you know, the great cycles of time and stuff like that, and try to detach ourselves maybe a little bit from like our own personal experience, and be able to see things from maybe like a more just humorous perspective, and have an ability to sort of laugh at our trials and tribulations right now, because that actually, like if we can do that, if we can take our situations a little bit less seriously, that is really going to help us in terms of being able to stay in a vibration that promotes like the facilitation of things falling into place in our favor in a like less obstructive way, like in an easier way is what I'm trying to say. So the more, we can create less resistance to what is going on internally and be open to it and sort of, take it for what it is and try to see the bigger picture in things and try to not, see everything, so seriously right now. I feel like that is probably going to help us as we are going through whatever we are going through. But let's pick a synchronicity card, you guys, and see what God, Spirit, Universe has to say in terms of some advice that can help us as we are navigating this weekend, because we could probably really use it. Oh my God. We got the same card coming out today that we actually got yesterday. It's always weird to me when that happens. And again, it says persist. We need to keep going. We need to not give up. We need to hold to our faith. We need to not like throw in the towel at this point in time because we're like, okay, I'm tapped out. I can't take it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Like, I can't handle whatever's going on. No, we need to stand our ground. We need to persist. And we do need to tap into this fixed energy. Like, fixed energy is a very stubborn energy. A lot of times very headstrong, very like strong-willed, like very like adamant and like not moving and stuff like that. And it can create problems a lot of times, but sometimes it's also like what we need in order to endure, in order to get through. Like, and that is, what this is saying right now. We may need to be a little bit stubborn in our faith, like in our ability to not get thrown off course by what is shaking us off course right now, if you know what I mean. Okay, it says, persist. Because of his persistence, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. Luke 11:8-9. Nothing is too large or too small, and your persistence in believing in God's ability to provide whatever it is you seek will bring you to your goal. Persistence, waiting, patience, and never failing faith will lead you to your goal. So that is the advice from God, Universe, Great Spirit this weekend, you guys. As we are navigating whatever we are going through, we can't give up. We need to keep going. We need to keep our eye on the prize. We need to, keep our vision of what we are moving towards and the realignments that are happening right now in alignment with that authentic truth, and tapping our resources, tapping our potential, and seeing ourselves like through a new lens in alignment with the new person that we are, the new identity that we are creating for ourselves as we are going through this shift, as we're going through this process. Persist, you guys. We're going to get through it. We're going to make it. So that is what I have to say today, you guys. That is what we have going on in the stars, and that is the message that is coming through from God and Universe. So I hope you liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you just a little bit of whatever you may be needing as you are navigating your journey this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you did like it, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in like this kind of thing too. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me on Monday, you guys. We are going to be even that much closer to this big activation that's coming up, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about. There's a lot happening next week, so I will be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you then. Everybody have a beautiful weekend, and until next time, bye guys.